Good afternoon, all of you. Sorry for the trouble. Actually, there's some issue with the microphone, so the speaker will be uh, reconnecting and he will try to join again for the meeting. So just please wait for a few minutes and then we shall continue.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Actually, from the laptop, it is not logging in.
Sorry?
From the laptop, it is not taking off. So I am talking from the mobile.
Okay.
So you can see the presentation.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
The presentation is visible.
It's visible, doctor.
Okay. So sorry for this technical problem happened. So good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for the patience waiting for this presentation. So should we begin?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, so I'm sharing the presentation from my mobile. Is it visible?
Yes, doctor, it is visible.
And the voice is also audible?
Yes, it's audible.
So I will start the presentation. Hello?
Yes, doctor, everything's visible. You're audible, so we can start now.
You can start?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let's not waste time for my introduction. So this presentation, I have disclaimer for you all. The advisory from presentation does not claim to be a final recommendation to your food habits, which are already adopted by your body because of genetic, cultural, and geographical variance. The advisory is for enlightening the importance of making healthy choice of foods or food combinations which may lead you to your optimal health. Question and answer session will be held at the end of the session presentation. And you can also reach me on email at lamamaskat@gmail.com for any queries you have. So before starting everything, I would like to introduce what is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the science of life. It is an Indian science of medicine, and it is a branch of Atharva Veda. Ayurveda is comprehensive science of life. Is the next slide visible?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. So evidence base of Ayurveda has made it sustain till now from the beginning. Ayurveda is codified. Original dimensions of Ayurveda are inbuilt in the ancient compendia of Indian wisdom called Veda. and it's documented around 6,000 years back. Updation and addition, the knowledge expanded from time to time with systemization of classical texts like Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtanga Sangraha, present from Ayurveda. Several research studies have established the efficacy in indicated diseases as described in the text of Ayurveda. So there are some connecting links between ecosystem, body, and mind. Everything in this world is supposed as it is prepared of Panchamahabhuta. Panchabhuta are inside our body and outside our body. Then there are three principles which are called as Tridosha, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And there are three gunas which are called as Triguna, Sattva, Rajasa, and Tamas. So all these three factors like Panchamabhuta, Tridosha, and Triguna, they are interrelated and they can be manipulate each other. Ayurveda has the solutions to prolong life, promote healthy aging through various processes, lifestyle management, and medicine management, and some therapy managements are there. Let's understand the secret of good health. So, the person who indulges daily in healthy foods and activities, who discriminates the good and bad of everything, and then acts wisely, who is not attached too much to the objects of the senses, who develops the habit of charity, of considering all equal, of truthfulness, or pardoning, and keeping company of good persons only, becomes free from all disease. Is the next slide visible? Factors affecting aging.
Yes, doctor, it's visible.
Yeah, physiological changes taking place in the human body with aging, substance abuse, lack of physical activity, unhealthy diet, luxurious lifestyle are primarily expressed in a decrease in biological functions and the ability to adapt to metabolic stress, which results in a weaker immunity.
So your screen went black.
Yeah. Now,
It's not visible.
yeah. So metabolic stress is the main reason for a decline in ojas and acne, which are part of our immunity, and the agni is the fire element of your digestion process and the metabolism. So, what is metabolic stress?
Your screen is not visible to the participants.
It's not visible.
No.
It's visible. Is it visible now?
Still not visible.
Okay. Okay, I have shared the presentation to Jitendra. So he will do presentation from there and I will talk.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, I have shared it just now.
Can you see the presentation? Yeah, is the presentation visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Doctor? Doctor, the presentation has been shared. Dr. Ashok, the presentation has been shared. We cannot hear you.
Hello. Can you
Yes, Doctor.
slide number? Can you move to slide number 10, please?
Yeah. This one?
Yes. So what is a metabolic stress? We were talking about metabolic stress and our fire element, the digestion power of our body, of various tissues and various foods, whatever we consume on day-to-day life. So metabolic stress is the flow of metabolites, the products of hydrolysis of nutrients in the gastrointestinal tract and secondary metabolites in the tissues, exerting the metabolite process in the cell of the body. Ability to adapt to metabolic stress is determined by ability to transform complex metabolites by enzyme systems, ability to assimilate simple metabolites to the life cycles of the cells, ability to remove unnecessary metabolites in the order to prevent cell damage. Can we move to the next slide, please? So this is one of the best foundation concept of Ayurveda, Agni. What is Agni? Agni is the power of metabolism, which is transforming immediate metabolic products and ensuring their absorption by the cells. The power of digestion power and the quality and quantity of enzymes of the main digestive glands, which allows for the transformation of foods, nutrients into hydrolysis products, as well as the power ensuring the absorption of those substances. The efficacy of detox system, that is microbiota in the guts and the liver and our lymphoid system, allowing the transformation of metabolic products and xenobiotics that cannot be included in the metabolic cycle. The processes of fermentation and detox from microbiota is in the intestines. Next slide, please. You can see these two images, one on the right and one on the left. On the left, it is a schematic presentation of our digestive system, which is starting from mouth till stomach. That part is not shown in the picture, and the remaining part is presented as stomach, duodenum, jejunum, ileum, and colon. These are the various stages in our digestion. And after that, rectum is there. So colon pH is maintained as 7. That is neutral, we can say. So you can see other part under stomach. There should be how much fluid is excreted, released in stomach. It is up to 3 liters in the entire day. And in small intestines, up to 7 liters are released. And how much water we drink in a day? Hardly 2 to 3 liters. So where these liquids or fluids are secreted from? They are from the body only. They are secreted and absorbed back. After that, you can see some different names, lactobacillus, streptococcus, like this. These are the names of microbiomes, we call it as, and also they are called as healthy parasites inside our body. They also take part in digestion, and over billions of years, they have adopted the environment of our intestine and our stomach, everywhere. Their presence is required now because human races are depending on the health of the same bacteria. And on the right side, you can see the factors which are affecting these microbiomes. So there are genetical factors, there are exercise factors, there are stress, there are some medicines we keep on consuming. There is age, there is gastric motility, there is gastric secretion, the diet, and all these factors affect the health of microbiomes, which are very important in our body for digestion process. So sometimes the numbers are increasing, sometimes the numbers are decreasing. That way, they affects the absorption. That way, they affects the absorption of nutrients and affects our health. So, can we go to the next slide, please? So we need to understand what is good food, because today's talk is on wrong food, right food, wrong combinations is equal to unhealthy. So before that, we go to the wrong food. We need to understand the good food first. So Ayurveda says Patyakara Ahara, or good food, which is pleasant in appearance. The aroma should be also present. The taste and the softness of the food are very important. If the softness of food is not there, the chances of digestion completely are less. Also, the food should not cause any harm to the deha dhatus, that is body tissues. And the Patyakarahara should serve deha dhatu pushtika, that is nourishing the body tissues. It should not harm the body tissues. Can we go to the next slide, please? So next thing is, what is wrong combination of good food? This is very important to understand what is the wrong combination of good food. It is a Ayurveda concept tabled under Viruddha Anna, that is called as incompatibility and antagonism of the foods. The foods which are antagonistic and with respect to place, time, Agni, and dosas. The stability, dosha, processing, potency, bowels, health condition, eating order, contraindication, indication, cooking, combinations, palatability, richness in properties, act of eating are considered as Viruddha Anna concepts. So there are total 18 concepts they have narrated, and we are going to talk on a few of them because of the limit of time we have today. So can we go to the next? So wrong combination of food can affect the body anyway, from entry point of body during the metabolism till it gets excreted from the body. The entire diet that excites the dosha but does not eliminate it out of the body is harmful. So why should we know about it? Something just changing the way you eat is enough to regain normal health. It helps to eliminate constant digestive troubles. It helps to stop constipation. It helps to stop acidity. It helps to stop reflux like this, the bloating of your stomach. And yes, believe it or not, you actually start enjoying your food. So how you eat begins the digestive process, for good also and for bad also. Can we go to the next? So for reference, I have quoted few Ayurvedic original texts, what they have written. I have not quoted everything, a few of them selected for you. So the meat of domestic, marshy, and aquatic animals should not be taken mixed with honey, sesame, jaggery, milk, black gram, radish, lotus stalk, or germinated grapes, because it causes deafness, blindness, tremors, coldness, indistinct voice, dumbness, nasal voice, or death. These are a few symptoms which happens over the periods. In few people, it happens fast. In few people, it will happen slowly. Can we go to the next please? So after eating radish, garlic, sigru, tulsi, here the sigru means nowadays moringa is very famous. So the sigru is the Ayurvedic name of moringa drumsticks and moringa leaves, we can say. So after eating radish, garlic, sigru, tulsi, one should not take milk because of risk of skin disease. This is what they have narrated in Ayurveda 6,000 years back. Can we go to the next? There is an Indian dish called as payasa. It is cooked rice with milk. If it is taken with after meal, drink of mantha. There is another drink which is prepared in India. It is prepared from the roasted grain flour. Those are antagonistic to each other, and it vitiates kapha too much, and the person can get diseases related to kapha. Start from the coughing and sneezing, it goes till diabetes. Can we go to next? This is another example. Pepper longam, which is fried with fish cooking media, and solanum family group vegetables, if they are mixed with honey, can cause death. Next, please. Although we do not practice all these recipes, these are the understandings they had that time, so they have documented it. Hot honey taken by a person applied with heat leads to the death. Likewise, honey and ghee in equal quantity, honey and rainwater in equal quantity, honey and lotus seed, hot water after drinking, honey, all these are antagonistic. So, ghee and honey, although they are healthy in nature if taken individually, Ayurveda says don't take them in equal quantity, because if you take them in equal quantity, it loses its wholesomeness. So it creates some toxins inside the stomach, and which leads to uh, some related genetical diseases, and those are not good for our health. Can we go to the next slide, please? So the reason to show you all these reasons, these examples, why should it is like that? The unwanted side effects can emerge inside the body when two or more types of foods are consumed together. Such reactions can be less important, but on long term, it can be fatal upon precipitating serious side effects. The concept of Viruddhahara indicates the concept of incompatibility and allergic reactions. For example, neither honey nor ghee is toxic to the body, but if they taken in equal quantity, becomes unwholesome. Next slide, please. So, out of those 18 Virudhana factors, there are few key factors which we should understand in today's world. The mental attitude, environment, company, attention, quality of food, kind of food, preparation of food, order of eating food, quantity of food, the act of eating. Wrong combinations in the above factors causes metabolic stress and diseases are followed after that in human body. For example, I would like to say if the if you are mentally not happy, if you are in some grief or if you are in some anger, that time if you are going to have food, definitely your brain will not cooperate with the intestines and release the right hormones to right enzymes to digest that food. If we talk about environment, eating in clean and neat environment is a very healthy habit. We see nowadays uh, we go to a what we can say KFC or some McDonald or some burger place, and we are sitting in the car and we are hungry and we just try to pick up something from there and we are eating inside the car. The same scenario, if you buy that and go to some beach and eat that food with peace of mind, you can see the change in the atmosphere, change in the environment. Both places you are eating, but if you are eating at a right place, it makes you more comfortable and that food will make more benefit to you. Company is also very important. You should always eat with people whom you like. You should not eat with people whom you don't like. If you go to the next factor, attention is very much important. And attention is so important that you should really think about it always because development in the IT section, there is a lot of changes. We spend a lot of time on television, mobile, and parallelly we are eating food. So it is also important that you should pay attention to your food only when you are eating food. So like this, every point here mentioned is very important for our health. Can we go to the next, please? So these are some food and food groups which does not mix with. There are two columns. So you can share this presentation to the listeners. I don't want to go in details because of we already delayed by my technical problem. So you can refer this chart and you can understand that these things, if taken together, are not going to work for good health in long term. Can we go to the next slide? So there are some name of diseases which are mentioned in Ayurveda. If we consume these kinds of viruddha ahara or foods which are not compatible with each other. So this is a small list of diseases just for indication to emphasize the importance I have mentioned. The name of diseases like impotency, blindness, erysipelas, ascites, pustules, insanity, fistula, venting, narcosis, tympanitis, spasm in the throat, anemia, leukoderma, skin and hair disorders, digestive disorders like IBS, it is called as irritable bowel syndrome, edema, acid gastritis, fever, rhinitis, some genetic disorders, and even death also. So, because of this, we should follow the right way of eating food. Next slide, please. Measure to counteract wrong food combination in Ayurveda. The best measure is to avoid those wrong food combinations. But if you are helpless to avoid, then you should be ready to face some illness. So that time, the role of doctors comes. So treatment of diseases induced by wrong combination would includes some therapeutic in Ayurveda called as vamana, that is induced vomiting, virechana, that is purgation, administration of some antagonistic drugs, and adaptation of prophylactic measures. Can we go to the next? So till now I have told you which were written and documented in Ayurveda text. And here I will put some examples for you, which are research based. So the first one is green tea and black tea and milk. I'm talking some research done on this. Tea contains flavonoids called as catechins, which have many beneficial effects on the heart. When milk is added to the tea, then a group of proteins in milk called caseins interact with the tea to reduce the concentration of catechins. That's why it is advised to avoid tea with milk. Whether it is green tea or black tea, it should be avoided to take with milk together. But in many traditions, milk is added. So they are not getting benefited with the catechins, which are good for the heart. Next slide, please. Milk and yogurt interaction. If consumed together, milk will be precipitated inside the stomach. That may irritate and induce vomiting. So avoid milk and yogurt together. Next slide, please. Tea and garlic. Tea contains anticoagulant compounds called as coumarins. When combined with garlic, that is also anti-clotting properties. They may increase the risk of bleeding inside the stomach. So better to avoid tea and garlic together. Next slide, please. Pomegranate juice and grapefruit juice. What research says about this? They should not be taken together because pomegranate juice and grapefruit juice both are known to block the cytokine P450 and 3A4 enzyme systems in the intestines and increase blood levels of many medications you are taking. So these two juices together may synergize the above action. So always avoid to take these two juices together and also avoid them when you are taking some medicines together. This next example is unripe tomatoes or potatoes and alcohol. So research says the unripe green tomatoes contain huge amount of solanine, a chemical, which may interact with alcohol. You may feel more sedation if you intake is more. Next, please. So mode of action. Whatever we have discussed, how it happens, what it does inside the body. It is said that Viruddhahara taken regularly could induce inflammation at a molecular level or a cellular level, disturbing the eicosanoid pathway, creating more arachidonic acid, leading to increased prostaglandin 2 and thromboxane. This inflammatory effect is an important effect as these are all the basic pathologies that create Agni-Mandya, that is, your digestive fire is minimized, and toxins, and number of metabolic disorders. Next slide, please. Sanskara Viruddha, that is called as processing antagonism. So this is regarding the way of processing the food. You can see these two pictures showing potato chips and French fries, we can say. The second picture, those are prepared from potatoes. So what found by research, deep frying of potatoes can develop toxic substances such as acrylamide, which can prove to be carcinogenic. So eating potato chips regularly is also sanskara viruddha. Next slide, please. The processing antagonism says age and rage. What is age? Advanced glycation end product. And rage, receptor for advanced glycosylated end products. Age is a random process that damages the functioning of biomolecules. When proteins are cooked with sugars in absence of water, age are formed. Then what is rage? Certain processing deteriorate the nutrients value of the food or convert into rage, that is receptor for advanced glycosylated end products. So this age and rage are behind many cancer-like diseases. Next slide, please. Similarly, some chemicals found in processed foods, wrongly processed foods, are acrylamide and HNE, a chemical that can form in some foods during high temperature cooking processes, such as frying, roasting, and baking. Acrylamide is food forms from sugars and amino acids that are naturally present in the food. It does not come from food packaging or the environment. The best example of this is barbecue meat, and when it is processed with sugars, that is carbohydrates or any flours, so it is going to be generated there, and it is highly carcinogenic considered. What is HNE? HNE is 4-hydroxy trans to nonenal. It is a chemical which is again prepared during some processes, like when oils of corn, soybean, and sunflower are reheated. Consumption of foods containing HNE from cooking oils has been associated with increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, stroke, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, various liver disorders, and cancer. So, if we go to pick up examples, there are a number of examples, but we have time limit, so the story will go on. So I would like to conclude here and complete my session. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a very informative presentation. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, we can do a quick Q&A session because we're short on time. So if you guys have any questions, you can either put it on chat or you can unmute your mic and ask.
I think many of them are facing this kind of talk first time, and they are trying to understand. So let them understand the things. You can share the presentation with whoever is interested to know more.
Yes, sir.
And
We will share the presentation will be shared on chat. So if you guys want to refer to that, you can do that as well.
yeah. Is there any question still?
Doctor, there is a question in chat. Doctor, can you access the chat?
In the chat, I cannot see anything.
Okay, someone is asking if mixing orange juice and carrot juice is a good idea because they heard that it's harmful for your health.
Orange juice is bitter, acidic, like citrus. And carrot juice is also there. You can have it sometime, but not always.
Okay, thank you, doctor. Does anyone else have any other questions? I don't think there are any other questions, so we'll conclude the session. I would like to invite Mr. Jitendra to have a word of thanks for Dr. Ashok. Mr. Jitendra, are you there?
Thank you, Dr. Ashok, for giving us time and sharing this invaluable knowledge with us. Yes, as you said that probably this topic might be new for some of them, and going through your presentation will give you more idea and more information about the topic. There's lots of things to read about this topic, and I'm sure that they will go back and they will refer to it, and they will have more queries in the future. Thank you so much once again, and I really appreciate that you have find out some time and you have shared knowledge with all of us, and hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you, Dr. Ashok. Thank you, Fava, also for conducting this session.
Thank you, Jitendra, for inviting me. And sorry for the inconvenience happened in the beginning. And I would like to say that everyone is having our own culture. So we should follow the cultural foods more than following westernized food culture, because our genes are ready to accept our own food in better way. That is my advice to everyone. And with this, I would like to say thanks again and bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor, and thank you, Mr. Jitendra, and thank you for everyone for attending the event. We'll conclude here. Thank you.
Thank you.